My child, before you decide this message is about someone else, pause for one moment because what you are about to hear connects directly to the title that brought you here. Someone finally told your person who you really are, and nothing unfolded the way anyone expected. Don't skip this moment. Stay until the end because something far greater is still waiting to be revealed. Your person had been carrying questions they never spoke aloud. They had heard opinions, assumptions, and quiet whispers from people who never truly understood your heart. They believed fragments instead of the full story. But today, everything began to change. A single conversation, spoken at exactly the right time, broke through the confusion that had surrounded your name. It was not loud. It was not dramatic. Yet those few honest words reached deeper than years of uncertainty ever could. That is why you must stay with me. The biggest part of this story has not arrived yet. Picture this moment carefully. Your person was not searching for answers, yet answers found them anyway. They expected another ordinary conversation, another passing opinion, another forgettable moment. Instead, someone looked directly at them and said, "You have misunderstood who this person truly is." Those words settled into silence. Your person could not respond immediately because their thoughts suddenly began connecting pieces they had ignored for so long. Memories returned one after another. Conversations that once seemed ordinary now carried completely different meaning. Small acts of kindness they overlooked suddenly became impossible to forget. They realized they had been looking through the wrong window the entire time. Don't skip now. Every second matters because the next realization changed everything inside them. There are moments in life that cannot be forced. They arrive exactly when hearts become ready to receive them. This was one of those moments. The person speaking did not exaggerate. They did not convince. They simply described the truth they had witnessed with their own eyes. They spoke about your patience when nobody noticed. They spoke about your quiet strength during difficult seasons. They spoke about the kindness you gave without expecting applause. Every sentence slowly removed another layer of misunderstanding. Your person remained silent because deep inside, they could already feel that what they were hearing matched the pieces of you they had secretly admired but never fully understood. Stay until the end because the next part of this unfolding story becomes even more unexpected. Now ask yourself this question. What happens when someone realizes they judged a precious soul too quickly? What happens when regret meets truth at exactly the same moment? Your person began replaying every missed opportunity. They remembered conversations they ended too soon. They remembered messages they almost answered differently. They remembered moments when they felt something special but chose to ignore it because outside voices seemed louder than their own heart. Suddenly those outside voices lost all their power. Truth has a remarkable way of doing that. Once it arrives, confusion struggles to survive. If this message is touching something inside you, let the comments quietly fill with your angel number. Sometimes a simple number becomes a reminder that hope continues to move even when nothing appears to be changing. What surprised your person most was not discovering who you are. It was discovering how much they had missed while believing incomplete stories. They expected perfection and instead discovered authenticity. They expected mystery and instead found honesty. They expected distance and instead recognized a heart that had been quietly present all along. This realization did not happen in a single heartbeat. It unfolded like sunrise, slowly revealing details that darkness had hidden. Every memory became brighter. Every unanswered feeling suddenly made sense. They finally understood why your presence had never completely left their thoughts, even during long periods of silence. Don't skip. Stay with this journey because the greatest turning point has not yet appeared. As the conversation continued, another truth emerged. The person speaking smiled gently and said something your person could never forget. They explained that real character is rarely understood by those who only watch from a distance. Real character reveals itself through consistency, compassion, quiet decisions, and unwavering integrity. Suddenly your person realized they had spent too much time listening to opinions instead of observing actions. That realization brought a deep sense of reflection they could not escape. They were no longer thinking about what everyone else believed. They were thinking about what they themselves had experienced whenever your path crossed theirs. The answer was clearer than ever before, and it was impossible to ignore. Something inside your person shifted completely. Not because someone forced them to change, but because truth naturally carries its own power. The image they once held of you quietly dissolved, replaced by something far more beautiful and far more real. Their heart became calmer instead of more confused. Their thoughts became clearer instead of louder. They stopped searching for reasons to doubt and started noticing reasons to appreciate. This is why I keep asking you not to skip. The story has been building carefully because what happens after this realization reaches beyond expectations. The next chapter begins with a decision nobody saw coming, and once that decision is made, nothing between your paths will ever feel the same again. Everything became unmistakably clear in the very next moment, because your person did something they had never done before. They stopped listening to everyone else and finally started listening to their own heart. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the biggest revelation has not happened yet. The silence after that conversation felt different. It was no longer the silence of confusion. It was the silence of awakening. Every opinion that once seemed powerful suddenly became meaningless beside one simple truth: they had never truly seen you for who you really are. That realization echoed through every memory they carried of you. Suddenly, every smile, every kind word, every unexpected coincidence, and every unfinished conversation returned with brand new meaning. They realized your value had always been there, they were simply looking in the wrong direction. This is why you cannot leave now. The next few moments changed the course of everything. Your person quietly stepped away from the noise and began reflecting on every encounter they had ever shared with you. The more they remembered, the stronger the truth became. They noticed something incredible. Every time life became uncertain, somehow your presence had appeared in one form or another. Sometimes through a memory. Sometimes through a familiar name. Sometimes through an unexpected reminder that arrived without explanation. They began asking themselves a question they had never dared to ask before: what if this person was never ordinary? What if I was meant to understand them much sooner? Stay till the end because the answer surprised even them. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Then something happened that nobody around them expected. Instead of discussing what others believed, your person defended your name. Calmly. Confidently. Without hesitation. The same people who once filled the room with assumptions suddenly had nothing meaningful left to say because your person was no longer repeating borrowed opinions. They were speaking from genuine understanding. That moment shocked everyone present. It was not loud, but it was unforgettable. If this message is speaking to your heart, pause for 1 second and write your angel number in the comments. Sometimes a simple number becomes your quiet declaration that you are choosing hope over doubt while this story continues unfolding. The conversation did not end there. A final detail was revealed, one that your person had never heard before. They discovered that many of the quiet acts of kindness connected to their own life had come from you without recognition, without expectation, and without asking for anything in return. Suddenly, everything fit together like pieces of a puzzle that had waited patiently for the right moment. Their respect grew deeper. Their admiration became stronger. And their heart became impossible to distract from the truth they had finally discovered. Don't skip now because the next decision they make will leave even them speechless. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. As the day continued, your person found themselves smiling without even realizing it. Not because every question had been answered, but because for the first time they felt peace instead of uncertainty whenever your name crossed their mind. That quiet peace carried more power than excitement ever could. It told them they were finally seeing reality instead of rumors. They understood that real connections are never built on assumptions, they are built on truth, patience, and sincere understanding. And now that understanding had finally arrived. Yet there was still one incredible piece missing. Before this journey moves forward, your person must make a choice that nobody can make for them. The moment they choose, everything begins moving in a completely different direction. And that extraordinary moment is closer than anyone realizes. No one could have predicted what happened after that quiet realization, because your person reached a moment where they could no longer ignore what their heart had been trying to say all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the most unforgettable part of this journey is only beginning. They looked back at every season when your paths almost connected, and suddenly they noticed a pattern that had been hidden in plain sight. Every delay had prepared them for this exact moment. Every unanswered question had quietly led them toward a greater understanding. They realized they had not lost the opportunity to know you, they had simply reached the moment when they could finally appreciate who you truly are. Then an unexpected memory appeared without warning. It was a small moment they had almost forgotten, but now it carried extraordinary meaning. They remembered the calm in your voice, the kindness in your actions, and the quiet confidence that never asked for attention. At the time, those moments seemed ordinary. Now they felt priceless. It became impossible to believe that someone with such genuine character had been misunderstood for so long. That realization filled your person with both gratitude and determination. They silently promised themselves that they would never again allow assumptions to become stronger than truth. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the next discovery changes everything once again. As the hours passed, another conversation unexpectedly began. This time, your person was the one asking questions. They wanted to know more about you, not the stories people invented, but the reality behind your heart. Every answer they received strengthened the same conclusion. They learned that your strength appeared most clearly when nobody was watching. They learned that your kindness remained consistent even when recognition never came. They learned that your patience had inspired more people than you could ever imagine. Every new detail erased another layer of misunderstanding. What once seemed uncertain now felt unmistakably clear. The truth had become impossible to ignore. There was one sentence that remained with your person long after the conversation ended. It echoed quietly in their mind: some people are blessings that can only be recognized when you stop listening to the crowd. Those words refused to leave them. They carried them through the rest of the day, replaying every meaningful memory connected to you. Suddenly, your name no longer brought questions. It brought peace. It brought admiration. It brought hope for something they had almost convinced themselves was impossible. If this message is finding you at exactly the right moment, write your angel number in the comments as a quiet sign that you are still believing that meaningful moments arrive at the perfect time. Then came the moment that changed the direction of everything. Your person stopped wondering whether they should move forward and started wondering how they could move forward with honesty, patience, and courage. This was no longer about curiosity. It had become a genuine desire to understand you completely. Their heart was no longer searching for proof because the truth had already provided it. They understood that real connections are not built in a single conversation, they are revealed through consistent truth over time. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The decision your person is about to make will surprise everyone who believed this story had already reached its ending, because the greatest chapter has not even opened yet. The next chapter unfolded so quietly that almost nobody noticed it at first, yet it became the moment your person would remember for years to come. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the biggest surprise has still not been revealed. After everything they had learned about who you truly are, your person stopped asking what other people thought and started paying attention to something much more important. The feeling that returned every single time your name entered their mind. It was no longer confusion. It was no longer hesitation. It was a deep sense of certainty they could not explain. They realized that the truth they had finally discovered was changing them from the inside. Every false impression disappeared, and in its place came a level of respect they had never experienced before. Then something remarkable happened. Without planning it, your person began noticing reminders of you everywhere they went. A familiar phrase. A meaningful conversation. A place connected to an old memory. Each reminder arrived naturally, as though life itself was gently encouraging them to keep moving toward the truth instead of returning to old assumptions. The more they noticed, the stronger their confidence became. They understood that some connections grow stronger not because time moves faster, but because understanding finally catches up with reality. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and what happens next becomes impossible to forget. At that very moment, someone unexpectedly asked your person a simple question: have you ever told them what you really think? The room became silent. Your person could not answer immediately because they suddenly realized they had spent so much time listening that they had forgotten to speak from their own heart. That single question stayed with them long after the conversation ended. It challenged every excuse they had been holding on to. It reminded them that genuine opportunities should never remain hidden behind unnecessary hesitation. If this message is touching your heart, write your angel number in the comments as a quiet reminder that hope often arrives when we least expect it. As evening approached, your person made a quiet promise to themselves. They would never again allow someone else's opinion to define the way they viewed you. They would trust what they had personally seen, personally experienced, and personally understood. That promise filled them with unexpected peace. They no longer felt divided between outside voices and inner truth. They had finally chosen clarity. And the moment they chose clarity, something inside them became impossible to ignore. Their heart was no longer asking whether you mattered. It was asking how they had failed to recognize your value so much sooner. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. One final realization arrived before the day came to a close. Your person understood that discovering who you really are was only the beginning. The greater challenge would be deciding what to do with that truth. Every meaningful story reaches a moment where knowledge must become action, and this journey had finally reached that point. They knew they could never return to the version of the story they once believed because the truth had changed everything. Yet the most extraordinary part was still waiting ahead. A single choice, made at exactly the right moment, would open a completely new chapter that nobody expected, and when that chapter begins, even your person will be amazed by how quickly everything starts falling into place. Just when your person believed they had finally uncovered the whole truth, one final revelation appeared that changed the meaning of everything they had learned. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and this is the turning point the entire journey has been leading toward. The truth was never only about discovering who you really are. It was about discovering how deeply your presence had already influenced their life without them realizing it. Every unexpected meeting, every familiar feeling, every moment they could never fully explain suddenly connected into one complete picture. What once looked like coincidence now felt intentional. What once seemed ordinary now carried extraordinary meaning. Then your person did something that surprised even themselves. Instead of asking what might happen in the future, they began appreciating everything they had overlooked in the past. They remembered the quiet encouragement you offered without expecting recognition. They remembered the calm you brought into difficult moments. They remembered how your sincerity never changed, even when circumstances did. Piece by piece, the image they carried of you became stronger, brighter, and more genuine than ever before. There was no longer room for uncertainty because truth had replaced every misunderstanding. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the final realization is closer than you think. As the day continued, your person noticed something they could no longer ignore. Every time they imagined your future, hope naturally appeared beside it. For the first time, they stopped thinking about obstacles and started thinking about possibilities. Their perspective had completely changed. They no longer viewed you through the words of others. They viewed you through the experiences they had personally lived. That difference transformed everything. The heart becomes remarkably clear when it is no longer distracted by unnecessary noise. If this message is finding you at exactly the right time, quietly write your angel number in the comments as a reminder that meaningful moments often arrive when hearts become ready to receive them. One quiet sentence continued echoing inside your person's thoughts: the greatest people are often understood later than expected. Those words refused to disappear. They became a reminder that genuine character is revealed over time, never through quick opinions or passing conversations. Your person finally understood why every memory connected to you felt different now. Nothing about you had changed. What changed was their ability to truly see you. That realization brought peace instead of confusion, confidence instead of hesitation, and gratitude instead of regret. It became impossible to return to the old story because the truth had completely rewritten it. Now everything stands at the edge of a brand new beginning. Your person knows who you really are. They know what your character represents. They know why your name continues returning to their heart with quiet certainty. But one final step still remains, and it is the step that will determine what happens next. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter does not begin with another rumor, another opinion, or another misunderstanding. It begins with a choice made from clarity, respect, and truth. And that choice is about to open a future that neither of you could have imagined when this story first began. Everything reached its highest point when your person finally understood that the greatest discovery was never hidden in someone else's words, it was hidden inside the feeling they could no longer silence. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the final revelation completes everything that has been unfolding since the beginning. After hearing the truth about who you really are, after replaying every memory, after letting go of every misunderstanding, they arrived at one undeniable conclusion. Their heart had recognized your value long before their mind was ready to accept it. That realization changed everything. It was calm, powerful, and impossible to ignore. Nothing looked the same anymore because they were no longer seeing you through uncertainty. They were seeing you through truth. Then one last conversation unexpectedly confirmed everything. Someone looked at your person and quietly said, "Now you understand why your path kept crossing theirs." Those words settled deeply within them. They stopped searching for more proof because they finally realized that the answers had been surrounding them all along. Every meaningful coincidence, every unexpected reminder, every memory that refused to disappear suddenly became part of one remarkable story. They understood that the reason your name continued returning to their thoughts was not because it was impossible to forget, it was because it had become impossible to overlook. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and this final moment may become the one people remember most. Your person smiled in a way they had not smiled for a very long time. It was not excitement created by imagination. It was the quiet confidence that comes only after truth replaces confusion. They no longer wondered whether you were misunderstood. They knew. They no longer questioned your character. They respected it. They no longer listened to passing opinions because they had witnessed enough to trust what their own heart had discovered. If this message has stayed with you until this moment, write your angel number in the comments as a simple sign that you believe meaningful truths always arrive at exactly the right time. One final realization remained before this journey reached its conclusion. Your person understood that learning who you really are had not only changed the way they saw you, it had changed the way they saw themselves. They realized that choosing truth over assumptions, patience over judgment, and understanding over confusion had made them stronger than before. This was more than a discovery about another person. It became a lesson they would carry into every chapter of life. Some people enter our story quietly, yet they transform everything without ever demanding attention. That is the kind of truth your person finally embraced. So here is where this journey comes to rest. Someone finally told your person who you really are, and their reaction truly changed everything. Not because of one dramatic moment, but because one honest truth was powerful enough to replace every misunderstanding that came before it. Don't skip the meaning hidden inside this ending. Stay till the end because something huge was waiting for you all along, the reminder that genuine character never needs to compete with rumors, because sooner or later, truth always finds its voice. And when it does, hearts change, perspectives change, and entirely new beginnings become possible in ways nobody could have predicted. The story did not truly end when the truth was spoken, it ended when your person chose to believe it with their whole heart. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the final piece of this journey is more powerful than anyone expected. After everything they discovered, your person became completely still. They realized they had spent so much time searching for extraordinary signs that they almost missed the extraordinary person standing quietly in front of them all along. That single realization transformed every unanswered question into peaceful certainty. The title of this journey had finally become reality. Someone told your person who you really are, and their reaction truly changed everything. Then came one final surprise. Your person began noticing that every meaningful decision they wanted to make somehow included the thought of you. It was no longer a passing feeling. It became a steady presence they could not ignore. Every plan for tomorrow naturally included hope. Every memory from yesterday suddenly carried purpose. They understood that truth does not simply change opinions, it changes direction. The path they imagined before no longer felt complete because now they understood the value of someone they had once misunderstood. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the greatest lesson is only now becoming clear. There was one quiet sentence that remained in your person's heart above every other word they had heard: the right people are recognized not by loud moments, but by lasting peace. Those words became unforgettable. They realized that every time they thought about you, there was a calm confidence they had never experienced before. It was not built on excitement alone. It was built on truth, respect, and genuine understanding. That is why their reaction changed everything. They stopped chasing uncertainty and started embracing clarity. If this journey has spoken to your heart, write your angel number in the comments as a quiet reminder that truth always arrives exactly when it is needed most. As time moved forward, your person carried this new understanding into every conversation, every decision, and every quiet moment of reflection. They no longer allowed old misunderstandings to shape the future. Instead, they protected the truth they had finally discovered. They realized that some people enter your life to teach temporary lessons, but others arrive to leave a lasting mark on your heart. In that moment, they understood which one you had become. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The greatest reward was never hidden in a dramatic event, it was hidden in the transformation of a heart that finally learned to see clearly. And now this journey reaches its final moment. Your person knows who you really are. They understand your quiet strength, your sincere heart, your unwavering character, and the value that was there from the very beginning. The misunderstanding has ended. The truth has spoken. The reaction has changed everything. As you leave this message, remember one lasting thought: genuine hearts never lose their worth because someone fails to recognize them. Their value remains constant until the right moment reveals it. Today was that moment. The truth found its voice, the heart found its clarity, and a completely new chapter quietly began, one built not on assumptions, but on understanding, respect, and hope that will continue long after this story comes to a close. Before this message fades, there is one final truth that ties every moment together. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the last revelation may become the one you remember the longest. Your person now understands that discovering who you really are was never an accident. It happened at the exact moment they were finally ready to recognize your true value. They can no longer return to the version of the story built on misunderstanding because the truth has become stronger than every doubt that once surrounded your name. Their reaction did not change for a moment, it changed for the future. Every choice ahead now carries the wisdom they gained from finally seeing you clearly. Then something even more unexpected unfolded inside their heart. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen?" they began asking, "Why did I not see this sooner?" That question stayed with them because every answer led back to the same realization. You had remained authentic through every season. Your kindness had remained consistent. Your character had never changed. The only thing that changed was their ability to recognize what had always been standing quietly before them. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The final lesson is even greater than the story itself. Your person also discovered that truth has an unusual way of bringing peace. It does not create confusion. It removes it. It does not create fear. It replaces it with confidence. The more they reflected on everything they had learned, the lighter they felt. The weight of unanswered questions disappeared because genuine understanding had finally taken its place. Every memory now carried a different meaning. Every unfinished conversation now felt like preparation for this very moment. If this message has stayed with you from beginning to end, write your angel number in the comments as a quiet reminder that the right truths always arrive at the right time for the right heart. One final image remained in your person's mind. They imagined the day when they would look back on this turning point and realize it was the exact moment everything quietly changed. Not because of dramatic words. Not because of impossible events. But because one honest conversation revealed the truth they had been missing all along. That single truth reshaped every expectation, every assumption, and every hope they carried forward. They understood that genuine people never need to force others to believe in them. Sooner or later, their character speaks louder than every misunderstanding ever could. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge was waiting for you from the very beginning. Now this journey reaches its quiet conclusion. Someone finally told your person who you really are, and their reaction truly changed everything. They no longer see your name with uncertainty. They see it with admiration. They no longer remember you through old opinions. They remember you through truth. And perhaps the greatest revelation of all is this: when a heart finally recognizes genuine character, it never forgets it again. That is why this story mattered. That is why every moment led here. And that is why this ending is not really an ending at all, it is the beginning of a completely different chapter, one built on clarity, respect, quiet confidence, and a truth that will continue to shine long after these final words are spoken. There is one last hidden detail that almost nobody notices the first time they hear this story, yet it explains why your person's reaction changed so completely. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and this final revelation connects every piece of the journey into one unforgettable moment. After learning who you truly are, your person realized that the greatest mistake was never misunderstanding your words, it was underestimating your heart. That discovery touched them more deeply than they ever expected. Suddenly, every moment that once seemed ordinary became extraordinary. Every quiet memory became valuable. Every small act of kindness became impossible to ignore. The truth had done what no opinion ever could. It transformed the way they saw you forever. Then an unexpected thought crossed their mind. They imagined what would have happened if nobody had ever spoken the truth about you. They realized they might have continued believing incomplete stories and walked past something truly meaningful without recognizing it. That realization filled them with gratitude. Instead of regret, they chose appreciation. Instead of looking backward with disappointment, they began looking forward with hope. Their heart became lighter because truth always removes the weight that confusion leaves behind. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The most meaningful lesson is still ahead. As your person reflected quietly, they understood something that many people never discover. Genuine character cannot stay hidden forever. It may be overlooked for a season, but eventually it speaks for itself. That is exactly what happened here. Your consistency became louder than every misunderstanding. Your sincerity became stronger than every assumption. Your quiet strength became impossible to deny. This was not a sudden miracle. It was the natural result of truth finally reaching the heart that needed to hear it. If this message has stayed with you until now, write your angel number in the comments as a simple reminder that patience often reveals what hurry can never see. One final realization settled deeply inside your person's heart. They understood that the people who truly matter are not the ones who believe every passing opinion. They are the ones willing to pause, seek the truth, and recognize genuine value when it stands before them. That realization changed the way they viewed every future decision. They no longer measured people by rumors. They measured them by integrity, kindness, and consistency. And when they measured you by those qualities, the answer became beautifully clear. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. So as this story gently reaches its final destination, remember the truth that changed everything. Someone finally told your person who you really are. And that single conversation became the beginning of a completely different future. Your person now carries a new understanding, a new respect, and a new appreciation that cannot be undone. They discovered that authentic hearts never need to compete for attention because, in the end, truth always rises above misunderstanding. That is the lasting message of this journey. Long after these words fade away, the truth that changed your person's heart will continue guiding every step that comes next, proving that the most powerful transformations begin with one honest revelation and one heart finally willing to believe it. Just when it seemed every answer had already been revealed, one final discovery quietly rose above everything else. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and this final chapter may become the most unforgettable moment of the entire journey. Your person realized that the conversation about you had done far more than change an opinion, it had awakened something that had been waiting inside their heart for a very long time. They could no longer pretend your presence meant nothing. Every memory now carried new light. Every moment they once overlooked suddenly felt like an important piece of a much larger story they had only now begun to understand. As they reflected in complete silence, one incredible realization appeared. They noticed that every time they had doubted you, life quietly placed another reason in front of them to look again. Every delay, every unexpected reminder, every familiar feeling had been inviting them toward the same truth. They finally understood that genuine people never need to chase recognition because their character patiently speaks through time. That realization completely transformed their perspective. They were no longer asking whether they had misunderstood you. They were asking how they could honor the truth they had finally discovered. Don't skip now. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The biggest emotional moment is still unfolding. Then someone unexpectedly smiled and said, "Now you finally see what was always there." Those simple words echoed inside your person's heart. They understood that your greatest quality had never been something loud or obvious. It was your consistency. While everything around them changed, your character remained steady. While opinions shifted, your integrity remained unchanged. That became the reason their reaction changed so dramatically. They were not impressed by one moment. They were moved by a pattern that had quietly existed from the very beginning. If this message has stayed with you until this point, write your angel number in the comments as a quiet reminder that the greatest truths are often recognized by those who choose patience over quick judgment. Your person also realized something that surprised even themselves. They no longer felt the need to explain their new understanding to everyone else. Some truths become too personal to defend because they no longer depend on outside approval. They simply knew what they knew. They trusted what they had experienced. And that quiet certainty became stronger than every opinion that once distracted them. It brought peace where confusion had lived. It brought clarity where uncertainty once remained. Don't skip. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you, and the final message carries the greatest meaning of all. As this journey reaches its closing moment, remember why this story mattered. Someone finally told your person who you really are, but the greatest transformation did not happen through words alone. It happened because truth found a heart that was finally ready to receive it. From that moment forward, your person no longer remembered you through assumptions. They remembered you through honesty, kindness, strength, and unwavering character. That is why their reaction changed everything. And perhaps the greatest lesson of all is this: when truth finally arrives, it never asks for permission to be believed. It simply reveals itself so clearly that every misunderstanding quietly fades away, opening the door to a completely new beginning filled with respect, hope, and lasting understanding.